Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new episode of our interviews. Now we are in Vaduz in the Principality of Liechtenstein with Skeena Resources, and Randy Reichert is here with us, the CEO of the company. We want to get an update from that fantastic developer company. Randy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jochen. Thanks for having us here today.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. Great presentation just here in Vaduz. And I must say, I'm again more even impressed than I was in former years from the company. Maybe you can remind us shortly, you are developing the next big gold mine in Canada.
Yeah, that's correct. So Eskay Creek is our flagship operation. It's a development project that we expect to have in operation kind of mid-2027. It is going to be a significant gold producer in the world scale, averaging about 450,000 gold equivalent ounces over the first 5 years. As we're concentrating at this point in time. So we know we've got a lot of growth in other projects bringing it in later on.
Okay, super. Okay, let's go a little bit more into detail. You have, of course, definitely feasibility study. You have a financing package of $750 million, which we will talk in a minute. But first, remind us on your dates with the production. What is AISC? How will you do it?
Okay, sure. So first of all, let me talk a little bit about permitting. So we're still going through some permitting. We've got an environmental assessment process going on. We expect to have that certificate in place September or October of 2025, with our major mines permits following that by the end of 25. That gives us about another year to 15 months to build the project out, commissioning in the first quarter of 2027, starting up the plant in the second quarter, and then with commercial production, third quarter of 2027. Yes, so all-in sustaining costs, this is going to be a very low-cost producer. It's really about the high grades. So 5.5 grams per ton gold equivalent ounces over the first 5 years, along with low-cost hydropower through BC Hydro, gives us a very big advantage, drives us all-in sustaining cost over the life of the mine, $687 an ounce. First 5 years, quite a bit lower, 550 over the first 5 years.
Oh, that is incredible. And you said the gold and also silver, but I think there are more metals attached to it.
Yeah, so silver is a significant portion. It makes about 35%. On top of that, we do have significant amounts of antimony, especially about half of it in the first 3 years. And we do have lead and zinc of quantities that are meaningful. We combine antimony, lead, and zinc. We have about $1.5 billion of raw metal value there. None of this has been included in any of the project economics to date.
So we might have some positive surprises here with the numbers.
Yeah, certainly. And we expect kind of to show a lot more of that probably in about a year's time.
Okay, super. But also that might set off some inflationary tendencies, so it would help.
Yeah, if there's any inflationary things like wage rates, particularly going up, certainly this would again offset some of those all-in sustaining costs.
Okay, super. $750 million US. That's really a kind of money, I would say. How much is contingency of that, and how have you structured that?
Yeah, so it's 4 portions of it. There's a $100 million cost overrun facility or contingency facility. So that's healthy. We wanted to have that in place at the beginning. The other 3 components are $100 million of equity that was done actually at a premium to the market, not a discount to the market. So that's important. We did the full financing package with Orion Resource Partners. They're now our largest shareholder. So we have our lender. They did all of this. Our lender is aligned with our shareholders. They've been an excellent partner so far. On top of that, there's a $200 million gold stream. That's for 10.55% of the gold production. But we've got flexibility in that because we can buy back 2/3 of that stream in the first year of production. And then finally, there's a $350 million senior secured loan. That loan, as well as the cost overrun facility, are flexible in that we can replace those tomorrow with cheaper options.
Which would save money.
Which would definitely save money. There's a 1% availability fee on that, no penalties. So that's important to us, and we believe kind of in a little over a year's time, we probably will replace those two with cheaper options.
Okay, super. And will you work with contractors, or will you do everything by yourself?
For the build, we're certainly doing the earthworks. That's all our own crews. We've started doing quite a bit of work on that this past summer, all with our own team. And then it's a matter of for the mill build, and especially that's the biggest part of this is really building the mill. Probably subcontractors working through exactly how we manage that, if we co-manage that with an EPC partner or what we do.
Okay, super. Also, your grades are one of the highest in the world, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So, we have 4.6 million gold equivalent ounces in reserves right now. The grade of that is 3.6, which is quite high. But in the first 5 years, it averages 5.5 grams per ton. And we know in later years, we can bring in other projects like SNP, that's averaging about 9.5 grams per ton, and boost that up as well. So we really focus on those first few years that are very high grade, probably 4 to 5 times what the average grade in the world is today.
Okay, super. I saw in your presentation also there is it reminded me a little bit to London Underground, Mind the Gap. Those two open pits you have, and you said if we can fill that gap, that's a game changer. What does that mean?
Yeah, there's definitely potential between the south and main pits. We recognize there's some fault zones there that look like feeder zones, and we're confident we can pick up more ounces there. That extends the mine life, probably extends the grade out longer. But the big thing for exploration is really in Eskay Deeps. That's where we really want to find the big plum. Where did the old ore body that was running 45 grams per ton of gold and 2,200 grams per ton of silver, where did that go? And so that's really what we're searching for.
Okay, that's a longer term thing, but you can easily finance it out of cash flow. This is what I like.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fantastic. I think also you have done something with the First Nations, which is, I would say not normal in the mining scene, because you really started from scratch with them and they are partner now of yours, right?
Yeah, so the main indigenous First Nation in the area is the Tahltan. The Tahltan have always prided themselves as being a mining nation. A lot of them really grew up with the former Eskay Creek and SNP operations. So they know and understand these operations, and they know mining. So from the beginning, Skeena has been working with the Tahltan, first of all with SNP, and then later with Eskay Creek. So before we really went ahead with studying and doing a feasibility study on an open pit, we talked to them first.
Okay, super. I like that. So they're also shareholder already, right?
Yeah, they're a small shareholder right now. We're hoping that in the future they're going to be a bigger shareholder.
Super. Who else are your large or main shareholders?
Yeah, our main shareholders, our largest right now is Orion, just under 15%. And then there's a German group, Deutsche Balaton, who's been a fairly long-term holder in Skeena, just under around 10%. And then BlackRock, again, been with the story for some time, just under 10%.
Fantastic. I think I saw also Franklin Resources, which is in Ruffer. They are also great.
Yeah, there's a number of the Van X and Ruffer and a new one, Helicon, is coming as well.
Fantastic. I remember also in former years there was that Albino Lake tailings facility. There was a little bit of a dispute. So how is that now solved, and where do you see a future potential with that? Because to my knowledge, there was a lot of gold in there. We believe there probably is. So we had a favorable ruling on that in July of this year. That was the appeals court of the Supreme Court of BC that ruled in our favor. So, we're confident that in the near future, this will be resolved and we'll be successful. And then we can look to do more work on it and how we incorporate that into the overall mining plan, which we expect kind of along with SNP and a couple other things to be in about a year's time from now. Okay, super. What's, obviously the biggest wish for next year? The full permitting,
for sure. So in the short term, we expect a bulk technical sample permit shortly, but the big process we're going through right now is the environmental assessment. We expect that certificate to be in hand kind of late September or October of next year, with the major mines permits following very quickly after that. So we're confident by the end of 25 we'll have the permits.
Fantastic. You have the money, then you have the permits. Hopefully everything is in good standing, and then I would say ready to rumble.
We're ready to go. We're doing some early earthworks. We're progressing the project. We're going to do a bit of work next summer that really will line us up for when we get those permits. The end, time to get it built and in production is very short.
Definitely. Super. Randy, all the best for you. Please build that mine. The world needs your gold, silver, and especially also antimony, lead, and zinc, definitely. And hopefully, on the copper, of course, we can use it then for North America. That would be great.
Great. Thanks for having me, Jochen.
Thank you very much, Randy. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there was Randy Reichert, the CEO of Skeena Resources, and you heard it. This is by far one of the best new gold mines which is coming up within the next 2 to 3 years. And don't forget, they have the financing in place. Amazing. Only 2 permits are missing, and they definitely will get that next year in the 3rd to 4th quarter. I think this is all done because this company will spit out a ton of cash. So that means jobs, taxes, good for the region, the whole thing, what you want to have as a setup. And to be honest, with those AISC well below $700, this is amazing per ounce of gold. And to be honest, stock price today is around the 12 Canadian dollars. Our next price target is 18. Longer term, we see the stock 30 to 40 Canadian dollars within the next 4, maybe 5 years. So I will definitely have a very close look on that company and will get in. You really should take also your due diligence going on. So thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Liechtenstein today.